Welcome to SSR Pharma Media, your trusted source for pharma knowledge. Pharmaceutical Inorganic Chemistry MCQ series, your exam power boost. Today we are going to discuss about emetics. Prepare, practice, succeed. So under the emetics, we are going to cover what is emetic and example of these two compounds, copper sulfate and sodium potassium tartarate. Emetics. So emetics are the agent that induced vomiting by local irritation of gastric mucosa. It is a type of peripheral action and stimulation of vomiting center. So CTZ, it is a central action point, and it is used mainly in acute poisoning, rarely used now due to safe alternatives are available. Inorganic emetics act mainly by local gastric irritation. So example, copper sulfate, sodium potassium tartarate. The compounds will discuss copper sulfate and sodium potassium tartrate. Synonym of copper sulfate, blue vitriol. It is Rossellai salt. Molecular formula CuSO4.5H2O. So KNaC4H4O6.4H2O. So assay, copper sulfate is assayed by iodometric method. So copper sulfate react with potassium iodide to liberate iodine. That liberated iodine treated with sodium thiosulfate. And sodium potassium tartrate is assayed by acid-base titration, titrated with standard sodium hydroxide. And mechanism of action of copper sulfate produce local irritation of gastric mucosa, stimulating vomiting reflex. So potassium tartrate, sodium potassium tartrate produces local gastric irritation and induce vomiting. And uses, it's emitting in acute poisoning, and fungicides act as another use, the fungicides and analytical reagents. So it is used as a emetic, rarely it is used, mainly it is used as a saline laxative and pharmaceutical aids. Move into the question. Inorganic emetics such as copper sulfate produced vomiting mainly by, so option C, local irritation of gastric mucosa. Blue vitriol is the common name of, so option C, copper sulfate. So copper sulfate, so synonym is blue vitriol. Rossellai salt is chemically known as, so option C, sodium potassium tartrate. The molecular formula of copper sulfate used in pharmacy is, so option C, CuSO4.5H2O. Deep blue coloration on addition of ammonia to copper sulfate solution indicate the formation of, so option C, cupra ammonium complex. It produces deep blue color with ammonia. Copper sulfate is assayed by, option C, iodometric method. So copper sulfate liberate iodine from potassium iodide. That iodine titrated with sodium thiosulfate. It's also called as iodometric assay. During the assay of copper sulfate, the liberated iodine is titrated using, option B, sodium thiosulfate. Sodium potassium tartrate is assayed by, option C, acid base titration. So using sodium hydroxide as a titrant. Which hydrated form of sodium potassium tartrate is official in pharmacopoeia? So option C, tetrahydrate form. So 4H2O. Which of the following test confirms the tartrate ions? Option B, white precipitate with calcium chloride in neutral solution. Which of the following is not a use of copper sulfate? Antacid. So copper sulfate is the irritant and acidic, is not a antacid. Sodium potassium tartrate is also used as, so option B, saline laxative. Which statement regarding emetic is true? So option C, inorganic emetics act locally on gastric mucosa. It's only correct, remaining and all wrong. False. Which property of copper sulfate is responsible for its emetic action? So answer in the comment box. So join in our WhatsApp community. You will get hands-out material. Thank you. Like, subscribe and share.